Hi, intermediates. I am so glad to work on these solos with you. Please use this video as help for any solo that you choose, which is up here, with the exception, percussionists, of the rudimental regiment, which Mr. Drum might be covering that with you. If you'd like that to happen, please do email me or ask him. But we're going to cover these today because we've got a good number of songs on our plate. What I'm going to do is give you a few tips about it, some things that I'll be listening for when you play your solos, and just ways to make it sound better. So pay attention to all the details. A solo given 4 weeks to work on should sound polished and without any mistakes, or as few mistakes as possible. And since these are kind of short, you should have plenty of time to work it up and make it sound really good. All right, let's go to number 108, March Militaire. So this is going to sound like a march. It's not going to sound like a song. So you're going to separate the notes out. Let's make your articulation not staccato, but definitely marked and, like I said, separated. Forte is your dynamic, but if you want to use a little bit of variations here and there with your volumes to make it more interesting, go ahead and do that. Just nothing super exaggerated, but since it's only forte all the way through the song, usually musicians decide to take a little license with it. Concert E flat is what we are in. Make sure you're looking at your key signature, 4/4 time. Allegretto is slightly slower than Allegro, so maybe 110 or so on your metronome. I'm going to turn mine on today. Wow, I need my glasses. To 108. Da 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 da. Da-da. Look at your timkas, dotted 8/16 notes. Make those as crisp as you possibly can. We don't want them to sound like they're kind of a triplet sound. A triplet is da 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 da. Like if you put the first two together, and then the second it would sound da 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 da. So you want it to sound da da da. Timkata. Okay. All right. Look at your accidentals. You've got one after the word, 2 coda. You've got several F sharps or E naturals, depending on which instrument you play. Okay, if you're confused about the roadmap, you're going to go beginning, push through all the way to the DC all coda, where there's a double bar that is thin line, thin line. DC means da capo, go to the head, go back to the beginning. Then you play through, and then you get to the words 2 coda with the circle and the cross through it, and then you skip to the coda. Okay? Here we go. 1, 2, ready. Some of you might be going, whoa, that's too fast. That's why you have 4 weeks to work on it. Start at a slow tempo and then maybe turn on my video and practice with me. Did you notice those sound like you're watching the circus, so you might want to emphasize the F sharps, E naturals in that to make it more interesting. I encourage you to do that. Okay, 109, St. Anthony Chorale. Andante is somewhere in the low 70s, so today I'm going to choose 72. Okay, now this is kind of like a march of royalty. So kings and queens walking down the red carpet, everyone staring, and confetti going through the air and that sort of thing. So you're going to treat it very light and dignified. Andante means not too fast, not in a hurry. You don't want them walking down the red carpet, you know, breaking into a run at any point. And then look at the key signature, concert A flat. So be careful. We haven't done that as much, concert A flat. So clarinets in particular, you're going to be using an alternate C fingering. So check that in the back of the book if you can't remember. All right, look at the first ending, second ending. Articulation here is very important. You've got legatos, you've got staccatos, and you have, well, tenutos, excuse me, and then just stuff that doesn't have anything at all. And so you want to use the spirit, the style of the song to figure out how you're going to do the tonguing there. You're going to make it probably a little short and separated. It's not a song, it's more like a dance. All right, so very light. The first timka, for example, you're not going to connect the two notes, so not, right? That's connected. You want to make it detached. So, okay? So pretend like, almost like you're walking on a little trampoline, and your feet are lifting up in the air, okay? So that kind of style. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 1, and 2. You also might want to slow down the second ending. Forgot to mention the DC all fine. Sometimes musicians, when they go back to the beginning of a DC, they don't do it with repeats. But in this case, I did. It sounds more appropriate here. Okay, going on to 115. Let's see. Soldiers Chorus from Faust. Faust is an opera, I believe. And Gounod, Charles Gounod, a French composer, wrote this. So it's like a celebratory march. And if you want to look more into this opera and to kind of get the idea for the story behind it, I invite you to do so. It's a pretty interesting one. Okay, we are in the key of C. So flutes and bells, be careful, no B flats, no E flats. And then clarinets and trumpets, you have a C sharp as well as an F sharp, so be careful there. I see some there. Now, you might be looking at the triplets and wondering, oh, I know that, sort of, right? Triplet, 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 right? But now look at the notes following the triplets. You'll see a quarter note, eighth note, and then a bracket over the top. With a 3. That means they want you to treat this like a triplet. The first two are within here, and the second one is within here. So if a triplet is triplet, 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 you want to think of the triple as triplet. Okay, so I'm going to do 4 of these, and then I'm going to do 4 of these, and you can see how they relate to each other. Triplet, 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 triplet. So you're going to think of it kind of like a lazy da, 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 da. Not like a timka. It's not da, 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 da. It's long, short, but in a lazy way. Okay? Now, I'm going a little faster. Maestoso. I'm going to do this slightly less than 100 at 96, but maestoso can be interpreted slower sometimes faster. Look at those accents too. All right, here we go. C sharps, F sharps, no B flats, no E flats. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready. All right. I think I played the wrong note at the end. So the last two measures are, well, actually I'll play it all the way through again. Clarinets, by the way, the last two measures, when you go from B to C sharp, right pinky, left pinky. Okay, let's try that again from the beginning. 2, ready, go. All right. Good. Let's go to 115. And wait, we just did that, sorry. 116. Here we come, Awassailing. You know this. This is a Christmas carol. And the big thing to notice at the in the middle of the song, the 2/4, you're going to see dotted quarter note equals quarter note in parentheses. And we talked about this on the Fantasia piece that we were going to do for the spring concert. That means that whatever speed the dotted quarter note was, it becomes the speed of the quarter note. Okay, so let's show you what I mean. I'm going to set my metronome for 120. Okay, so that's kind of fast, I know, but that's allegro. Okay, so you're thinking 1, 2, 1, 2, right? So a fast 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're going to be doing da 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 da. Okay, so think 1, 2, 1, 2 in 6/8 time. But then when you go to 2/4, you immediately think 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Okay, so you might want to listen to me play it a few times, and then pause me and then practice it slowly until you can work up to the tempo. The important key here is that your 2/4 and 6/8 need to have a direct relationship. So if you slow down when you get to the 2/4, or if you speed up at the 2/4, you're not going to have your solo polished. So make sure you practice with a metronome, right? As you should all the time anyway. Starting mezzo forte and then going to forte at the 2/4. Looking at your key signature, also concert B flat. 1, 2, ready. And you know, that feels kind of quick, so if you want to go a little slower than that, that's probably fine. Like 90, probably be good. All right, let's go to Romanza. This is the point where we have flutes, clarinets, and trumpets, but not the percussionists. So I'm going to do part A first. And this is very difficult. I would encourage you to do part A, although you can do part B if you want to. I'm going to do both today. So this is Andante, and about in the 70s. And this is from Beethoven. So late classical period. So again, thinking of kings and queens, simplicity, beauty. Romanza means romance. So it's got to have this sort of suppleness to it, this beauty, lilting. Okay, you don't want to play it like bricks. You don't want to play it like straightforward, boring, sterile. Okay, So there's a lot of different rhythms in here. Be careful with them. Counting carefully. Lots of eighth notes with eighth rests, either with the eighth note first and the eighth rest following. In that case, think about it as a short quarter note. Or you have the eighth rest coming first and then the eighth note after that, right? So that's t, 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 okay? So I'm seeing that happen in a number of places. So be careful with that. Like, for example, measure 27. Okay. Now, ask me if you have any questions. Email me, chat me. If you need more help than this, I'm happy to put out another video on it if you want. All right, here we go. So it starts with two beats of rest. So we're going to play part A again. Here we go. And 1, 2. All right, that's a long one. Excuse me. Part B. And if you want to, just for fun, you can play part B with me on A and vice versa. Same idea with this one as well. Very light tonguing. Here we go. 1, 2. do let me know if you need anything with regards to help with any of these solos, and I'd be happy to help. I will see you soon.